I want to be very, very clear about where I stand with KD overall because we have some history ourselves. I am not concerned in the slightest. Not even a little bit. Not even a little bit. Let me be very, very clear. And this is one of the reasons I had to modify my position. I'm on the record. We all know this. When he left to go to Golden State, weakest move I've ever seen by a superstar. KD and I talked about it, hashed it out. We good. But the reason why I called it a weak move was because he's so great that it drastically shifted the balance of power in the NBA to a point where there was no competition. Now, obviously, I had some personal things going on at the time with my mom and all of that other stuff. That was one of the reasons. But that year, I went to 5 games, man. 5 games. Whatever. Who don't know what's going to happen? Just wipe the competition. There is no way somebody that great can be on that squad. And guess what? You got a chance. So that's why I said I thought the move was weak. Then obviously I apologize to the wonderful Mama Durant because you ain't want to. No. That's my lady. And when my mom passed away, she's one of the first people that was there for me. I love that woman. She is special to me. Having said all of that, I also had a problem with people taking my words and using that to interpret it as me questioning the greatness of Kevin Durant. I said, no. I'm saying he's so great that it made competition unfair. That was my point. So that brings me to where I'm at right now. I don't want to hear these lies about he's 6'9". That man ain't no 6'9". That man ain't sure. That man. They got to listen. That man is not 6'9", okay? He ain't shorter than a Greek freak. This dude got a 7'6" wingspan, can pull up from 30, 20, 25, 15, mid-range game, long-range game. He could, by the way, he could post when he wants to, fade away shot, baseline, perimeter, wing, key, it don't matter. This dude offensively is so elite. He's so elite. Now, if he were a Russell Westbrook or a Derrick Rose or somebody like that, it would be different because their success is largely predicated on their athleticism. KD's success is predicated on the fact that he is a marksman. He is a marksman. And last time I checked, an Achilles injury ain't going to make him shorter. It ain't going to make him shorter. It's not going to strip him of the ability to get off his shot. You certainly ain't blocking it most of the time. Not when he's 7 feet.
Not as explosive.
So he's still I understand it. But what I'm saying to you is he don't have to be. I'm not worried about him in the slightest.
What about on defense?
Okay, you can say that. You know what my response would be? Are you going to have him chasing out on the perimeter? Because he might not have to do that. And guess what? If he doesn't have to chase,
I agree.
If he doesn't have to chase people on the perimeter, then excuse me, it's not going to be that glaring.
It's not that he can't have success. It's that it's unlikely it's very likely we've already seen the best of KD. That is a sad thing for me because we should have seen at least this much for the next 3 or 4 years.
Okay,
and we should have seen it in the context.
I'm gonna make you feel
where,
better.
Unlike the Warriors, where you just couldn't lose, so you're really not proving anything to me. He could have proven something.
Jay, I'm gonna make it feel better. I'm gonna make you feel better. Oh, Tom Brady, and I'm not getting on you about this. Just stay with me. Yeah. Oh, Tom Brady's gonna fall off a cliff. Still winning titles. And all I'm saying to you is, KD, somehow, some way, the dude that's a career 27-point per game score. I apologize, man. He might average 26 instead of 27. I mean, that's about it. I'm not worried at all.
Defense. Is he going to be an MVP
I'm not worried
candidate?
At all.
Will he be an MVP candidate?
I think so.
I think so.
I think he'll be.
When he comes back.
I don't think so.
Whenever he comes back.
Can I tell you a different factor? Because we did pros and cons today of each scenario in which he can go to. And one of the pros we did about that over there across the East River in Brooklyn was that KD's always played for himself, right? Like OKC turned into himself. Weird scenario with Russ, with management, whatever you want to call it. Golden State, he had to prove something. I don't think KD, I think one of the things that lures him a little bit to Brooklyn is about the culture of basketball, man. Like he's from Prince George's County, right? The DMV. Like there are kids over there that look like him, that sound like him. Like there's a culture movement that could be pushed into this whole scenario too.
May I ask a question? Could you talk to me about the potential culture impact he could have if he were with the Knicks instead of the Nets?
Well, my thing is, I'll ask you this question. As a real New Yorker,
yes,
because I live in Brooklyn, I'll just say this.
Right.
I come into the city sometimes, I don't know what Manhattan stands for.
I agree with you. But
Any
you know
more,
why?
no, Manhattan is just.
I don't know what Manhattan stands for.
money now.
That's what I'm saying. It's international money. I feel
It's an international money, all of that stuff. But the real problem is the Knicks, because remember, the Mets are in Queens, the Yankees are in the Bronx, both the Jets and the Giants are in East Rutherford, New Jersey. It's about New York as opposed to one of the boroughs. But my response to that would be, you wouldn't have that question if they had a basketball team and they had a basketball identity.
Where Spike Lee live?
It's true. But Spike Lee's from Brooklyn.
I know. I'm just saying, like, it's fine if you come over here and be a fan of that. There's a culture there that's there.
But allow me to teach you about New York. Allow me to teach you something about New York.
Sure.
Most people that are from New York, we never want to live in the city. We want to live in the boroughs, but we go to the city because that's where the action is, but we don't want to live there because that's where the noise is. That's where the noise and the buzz is. You go home for peace and quiet.
No,
Brooklyn
it's too
ain't that.
expensive to live in the city is the problem.
I like living in the city.
Excuse
Right,
me,
but the Brooklyn,
we would know.
The Brooklyn, that's right.
You know what I'm saying?
The
We would
Brooklyn
know.
Nets.
All right, really?
The Brooklyn Nets are more emblematic of New York City than the New York Knicks. The Knicks are
Brooklyn
soulless,
is, not the Brooklyn Nets.
Are a soulless corporate organization that hasn't won anything in 46 years. The Nets right now are the rising tide in New York. And if KD goes there, listen to me, it's going to be the hottest ticket in sports.
This from the guy that was standing outside on lines waiting to go to the upper deck of Knicks game.
That was when Charles Oakley was diving on the floor for loose balls. He can't get in the garden today.
Right.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.